think we did it. Once we did it, I used my iPhone. I hard rebooted twice, and we are back on. Woo! Got this. What's up, Donnie? Donnie V. I'm gonna start doing awkward versions of people's names, just to be like, Victoria's like, risen from the dead? Is it Easter or what is going on? Thank you guys. Thank you for sliding back in. I feel like you guys were in like a music club, and then everybody's like, hey, everybody out. We got to get everybody out. And then we had to stand outside for 5 minutes. It's like, what the fuck? And they're like, okay, everybody come back in. It's fine. Come back in. You had a power outage? Oh my God. Thank you, Shannon. Shannon's like, yo, you guys pulled that shit together. Can you hear me?
Back, really. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Lovely. I can hear you. What?
Hey. Yay.
Dude,
yeah. All right. Thanks.
My only disclaimer, iPhone, which is about this big as opposed to like this. So every once in a while I might be able to read what you guys are typing. So bear with me. Like all
And I'll try to read. I can read.
And Tori, like, make sure I'm not like, he asked a third time, what key is the song? And I'm like, oh, what key is the song in? Okay, so we were halfway through the song.
Should I start again from, I could start again from, it's a short song. I could start from the beginning, or I could start from the second verse, I think.
Why don't you start from the beginning of the second verse, because that's kind of where we were, right?
Sure, yeah.
And by the way, I have a feeling that this whole thing was precipitated by Dan dropping a bunch of likes on both of us.
I think so.
I don't know if that's true, but it was like, so perfect example of the same theme that keeps wrapping back around through this one single stream, which is what happens when you have this problem, but you're like, oh, this is a big problem. But it's a particular kind of problem. Second verse.
Okay. All right. Hopefully I can grab it. I think it's here.
Thank you guys for swinging back in.
You can't wait for a perfect day.
This is end of chorus one.
You got to lose. So I said, okay, whatever you say, but first I need my coffee. I'm waiting, stuck inside that drive-through conga line, thinking I'm crazy, screaming out my mind. Then Kelly calls my phone, and she's going a mile a minute, saying I'm already late for work, so why don't I just ditch it? I should have told her no, 'cause she don't understand. I can't abandon everything that I got planned. But she said, Monday's just another day. You don't need to sing the blues. All our young days will slip away if you keep on hitting snooze. We can't wait for a perfect day. What have we got to lose? So I said, I'm game for anything, but first I need my coffee. 2 lumps of sugar, 2 shots of cream, warming my hands and melting me. 1 sip takes all my bitterness away. And I say, Monday's just another day. You don't need to sing the blues. All your young days will slip away if you keep on hitting snooze. You can't wait for a perfect day. What have you got to lose? You know I can handle anything, but first I need my coffee. Give me that coffee.
You could have that be a post. Give me that coffee. That's
Yeah.
hooky.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it could be repeated more.
actually be like it could actually be a legitimate part of the song. I'm gonna say something obnoxious because it keeps floating around in my mind. So, we're talking about ways to land this song successfully and monetize it, get it exposure, have it be something that allows you to do more stuff. So forgive me if this sounds a little bit commercial minded, but you should really seriously consider pitching this for a commercial
Oh,
about coffee.
totally.
Okay,
Totally. I've
so
had that. I was worried it was a little too on the nose, but and like how do you fit a brand name in there of like, but first it's Folgers coffee or something like that. Like
dude,
that
you
might
just
be
did it. That is it. What's the thing? The best part of waking up. Most people
yeah.
who've seen that can finish that song. That's a massive, massive IP.
hmm
Like it's a huge, it'd be great. So again, I mean, that's a little more commercial minded than like, that's super commercial minded. That's like, let's get it in a commercial about coffee. But it's so on the nose topic wise. It's so like, puts the context of coffee and everybody likes it. And it's not over hypey. It's just like, this is what coffee means. You get better. Like, it's kind of right there. It's sort of like, the elephant
Yeah.
in the
I'm
room.
not
I
opposed to
would,
that.
okay.
I don't really know how to pursue that. That's the thing.
It's
Like
this,
I did
it's,
one jingle, but it was contracted by the
uh,
company that did the jingle. I've never
yep.
like written a song and then thought, how do I get it to that lane?
So
So,
again,
but
I
yeah,
would
I'm not
say
opposed to that. I'm like about the song, whatever's gonna help the song have a life beyond me.
it's probably the most obvious from a certain meeting and figure out how to get this song some legs. Like that would be if
hmm
I had, if we're gonna bet money, like everyone's putting X amount of dollars in of their own money. What are we gonna do to make this song, reach a certain blah 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 blah? Be like, okay, we have to bet on something. I would say, and again, the same thing applies. I think it matters like who's coming out with a new kind of coffee or who's coming out with a blah 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 campaign. It's all that stuff. It's also if you
Yeah.
did the beverage thing and you make that a thing you do and you do it every day like we create now and everything else and you love on it, right? It's gonna eventually get to the point where you can really do those kinds of songs well. And how many people do you know? Be honest right now. How many people do you know that are really good at writing jingles at all?
I have one friend who like that's the thing he does, but one out of everyone I know.
People do you how many people do you know? Just estimate. How many people do you know in popular music?
Oh gosh, like everybody I know.
So
Almost all
guess how
my
many
friends.
people that is? A few hundred people, right? So who do you want to compete with? One other person
Yeah,
or
probably
500 people?
300 people.
Right.
That's true. That's
Already
true.
stumble into something and you're like, this could work. And there's only one other person doing it that you know of among compared to 500. Your odds just went up 5,000% with everything else being equal. And that's just a game like everybody else. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure you know people that do voiceover work and people that do all sorts of things. It's a little bit more in that realm. It's a different animal, but it's not entirely
hmm
different. So it's the same. The production conversation is still the same one in a way. It's just it's a little more
Right.
suited to that. Okay. So that said, I just wanted to get that out because I was curious what your thoughts are on it. Thank you, Tori. 5-minute warning. It is a 5-minute warning. Let's go to 11:20.
Okay, we'll do this again. We'll do it again.
We'll do it again. But so let's push play on the beginning of it, and I'm going to sort of obnoxiously just narrate through some ideas. So if what you could do is the following, like
Okay.
just going in a visual. So push play, and then every time I do this, pause it for a second, and I'll make some comments.
Oh, I won't be okay. I will have to
You won't
change
be able
how
to
my
do that?
monitor is set up to do that.
Got it. Okay. Or
I
we can
think
do
I
it in
can.
another way.
I just have to change.
What's an easy way for us to communicate and for you to be able to pause it? You tell me.
No, this
And
is
I'm going to get,
doable. I just need to change how my windows are. This is doable. I can see you and Yeah, there might be a little bit of a second lag in between, but this is doable. I just had to
I
change
love
my
how we're
windows.
pushing on this technology, by the way. I love when things break. Tori knows I love when things break. Like, I love it because it means
Yeah,
we're pushing
we're
on
on
shit.
the
We're
edge.
doing new shit. We're trying things. It doesn't quite work, and then you figure it out, and then you know that. No, like, not sarcastically. Like, I love it. I like to be in a realm where we're like, I don't think this will work. Great, let's do that. Anyway, I'll shut up. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's exciting. All right, let's try it. Here's the top of the song.
And by the way, also, thank you super, super much for being here. Pause it for a second. I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting so much and being a part of this stream since the first moment you popped on here. You were like, yo, this is awesome. You've given us a lot of love. You've given us a lot of comments and smart things to think about. And I appreciate you
Yeah.
being here. And I also appreciate, like, for those of you watching, you know, when you do something public space to just sort of be talked about and explored and looked at, it's not an easy thing. No one particularly likes that. And so thank you for being willing and open to just be like, yo, here's a song. It's my baby. I've worked on it for a long time. I have a lot of connections with this song. Let's just put it out in a public forum and talk about this song is awesome and courageous. And I appreciate you and how fun this is. And I think it's great for people watching too. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, this is how I would want to spend all day, every day. So thank you for letting me do it. And thank you for being on YouNow. You know, there's so many other places you could be. I'm glad that you're here because I think YouNow has the potential to do something that other places are not doing, you know?
Amen.
So I
I
like it.
agree. All right, let's go. Let's hit
All right,
it.
here's the top of the song.
Thank you guys.
There's some
All right. So if we're going to use a numbering system from 1 to 10 that denotes energy of the song, just as a general notion, what did we start out with on the intro? What would you guess?
From 1 to 10, okay.
Yeah.
I'm used to using 1 to 5, but
Oh,
I'll use 1 to 10.
we can do 1 to 5. I like 10
like
better because it gives more gradations.
Sure, sure. I would say, yeah, I would say like a 7.
Okay, that's pretty
It's
high.
starting. Yeah, but overall the song is a 3. Overall the song is a 3. Like this is not the opening number of an album, I don't think. I don't think you come into a concert and
That's the hit
strike
song.
into this
Right.
song.
But from
Overall.
an arrangement standpoint, that first X amount of seconds that we just listened to is a 7 out of 10, in your opinion. Right? Understand you
For
correctly.
this,
In relation to the arrangement of the whole song.
in terms of the whole song, in relation to the arrangement of the whole song, the intro is like a 6.
6. Okay, that sounds about right. Cool. So a comment I'm going to make that's going to sort of take us through. I'll mention it like a what's it called? A spoiler alert. I feel as if the down verse, the third time that we go through that verse, I think it is, where everything breaks down and it gets tiny and small in terms of instrumentation. And it's like, okay, this is the third time through, and then we're going to build it back up to the end and kick it out, right?
Yeah.
That lower, where is that in the down verse? What number would you give that?
A 2.
Right. So
the only thing less would be to do a cappella voice.
Right. So one thing you can do as a really basic tool, and again, I'm talking to a songwriter, right? So you've written a lot more songs than I have, right? So I'm telling you things that you probably already know in spades beyond my knowledge, but I'm mentioning things that you can use as like, oh, a tool that you're well familiar with that you might consider bringing in and doing some whatever. I think part of what's happening in the song is that the energy level from section to section to section is struggling a bit to move forward. And I think
Okay.
if you started
Sure.
lower on a 2 or 3 and start small, so to speak, give us something where you're like,
Okay.
you know, maybe start. And I'm not going to tell you how to write the song or how to do that, but I think as a general idea, like you can more aggressively use these levels of energy more than you're doing. Almost over enunciate the level thing and your choice of, okay, how much energy do we want? I think you're starting out quite strong, a 6 in your opinion, and then the beginning of the verse actually
going
drops.
down for the verse.
Right.
Goes down.
And also, what's more concerning to me from an arrangement standpoint is the B section goes down. Melodic wise, it either arguably stays in the same range, or it kind of like it has like a hair less energy than the verse. Seems to me.
The B section being the like the pre-chorus.
The pre-chorus, yeah. Those are interchangeable for those of you watching.
Waking up like this. Okay.
Right. So from a basic energy standpoint, the B isn't necessarily lifting us into the chorus that much. And so
it's more of like a breath.
It is. So again, those are choices you can make. It's not like, oh, you ought to blah, 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 blah. I'm just highlighting that the energy of the song, it like it's sort of, it doesn't necessarily it doesn't behave in a particular arc the way a lot of songs that you're writing in the vein of behave. So not that you need to make it behave that way precisely. You get where I'm getting? It's like the energy levels. So
yeah, totally.
It's a 6 in the beginning. Let's kick it back into the verse. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
Sunlight sneaking in between my window blinds. Pillowcase creases all across my cheek. I'm squeezing my eyes shut, wishing I could stay asleep. Live another moment in my dreams.
Pause.
Waking up like this.
Actually, it does go up a little bit, but it doesn't necessarily lift as much. But even on the verse, it goes down on the 4th section again. So it kind of goes 1, 2, 5, 2, which is fine. But notice what that's doing emotionally for someone listening. And now you've got to push from the 2 back up into a B section. And you feel it as a listener, subconsciously or not. Like it doesn't, oh, wow, here we go into the verse, right? Or here we go into the B section. It literally goes like this. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. You're thinking of the melodic, melodically, yes. Overall, the melodic range of this song is pretty small.
That's another issue I have.
I did it kind of deliberate. It was kind of deliberate because I wanted it to be in anyone's voice kind of thing. Because I was thinking like, okay, it's an everyman song. I want it to be for anyone's voice. There are other songs I've written that are like very extreme. In fact, like that's more of my default is to use all of my voice. But that's not always good when you're trying to
Here's something you could potentially do what you just described, but still give it more dynamic from section to section. You went up. If you did that not quite so dramatically and kept sections more contained, even if the whole song is 7 notes, but one section of the song focuses on the 1, and then the next section focuses on the 3, and the next section focuses on the 5 and the octave, or something like that. And again, I'm being really ham-fisted about my example, but the point is, if you tied down the range of each section just a bit and don't let things go past, then at least you can feel the difference between this section to that section to that section. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to go up 5 octaves to go, oh shit, this is for real. No, but just some step from like world 1 to 2 to world 3. average human being's going, they're going to be like, it just feels like it, you know, it goes from, does that make sense? So
Yeah.
one thing you can do is more aggressively
totally.
look at, okay, well, what's the main note of this section? Is it the 5? Is it the 4 of the chord, whatever, the scale? And then like, can I shave this note down a notch and just contain? It's almost like containing energy in a performance. There has to be a build up to a climax in a story or something. You don't let everybody know all the, so it's like unleashing it in gradations. Again, I'm speaking to the choir. I'm literally speaking to someone that does this all the time.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of like the thought of what you said about like which note it centers around. That's something I do think about all the time, section to section, of being like, which chord tone am I going to emphasize,
Yep.
or which place am I going to lead in? I think about
Yep.
that all the time. And so like a lot of times if I start an idea and I know I'm starting on like, oh, I'm on the 3rd of the chord tone, I need the next higher chord tone for the next section. So I'm thinking about that.
I'm preaching to the choir.
If I decode this. Yeah. So I don't know. I was like, because some of it is, melody is so, for anybody who's a songwriter out here, like Landon is writing a little bit, and I know Lauren.
I'm gonna go to
writes
11:25 because I literally had a call.
Yeah. Are you sure?
11:30. Yeah, because I'm totally fine.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Right.
We'll drop all of
chord
it.
tones.
We said goodbye already.
Yeah. Chord tones, you know what I'm talking about. It's really just a matter of like, I wonder if I can be even sneakier and more blah, 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 blah with the chord tones and the range specifically of that. Okay, go ahead and push play.
Okay.
Takes me back home to the farm, remembering when my mama's voice was my alarm. And she said, Monday's just another day, you don't need to sing the blues. All your young days will slip away if you keep on hitting snooze. You can't wait for a perfect day, what have you got to lose? So I said, okay, whatever you say, but first I need my coffee.
Pause.
Yep.
The two hookiest parts of the hook are, in my opinion, can't for a perfect day, what have you got to lose?
Yeah.
There's a very specific rhythm to that that's really fucking Nashville and really amazing and like so perfect. People don't realize like that's really hard to do, right? It's just the cadence of it, the prosody of what you wrote, and the rhythm and the notes and everything really snaps together well. And the other one that I like in the hook is first I need my coffee, right? That's how human beings kind of say it, and it's very hooky, and it's very like where you would emphasize the words when you're trying to make a point about coffee. First I need my coffee. That's right. So I guess the point I'm wanting to make here is if those two to me are like the really, really especially hooky parts of the hook and of the song argument, if that's the bar, like if there's any way to get any of the rest of the song, and I would say especially about the rhythm of the actual rhythm of the rhythm itself.
Okay.
You could experiment with to, you know, almost exactly the same melody, almost exactly the same rhythm, but you go click, and then it's like oh, a little hookier. Right? There's
okay. I think I know what you're saying. So we're still mostly talking about the melody, right?
We are, but we're talking about the rhythm of the melody, not the notes and range and
not the notes. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Keep playing. Super nerdy, Keith.
I'm waiting, stuck inside that drive-through conga line, thinking I'm crazy, screaming out my mind. Then Kelly calls my phone, and she's going a mile a minute.
Oh man.
your range, at least the way you're singing it. It's pretty low in your range.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
that's
On the line. Yeah. Hmm.
on the line. It's a pretty wide range for a verse to play around in, right?
Hmm.
And I think that's part of what's now you've got
I
to
could
do
refrain
something
it.
that raises it from there. Some it doesn't necessarily be in the scale tones, but somehow you could contain that quite a bit. So go ahead. Thank you, Tori. 11:29.
We have. It's. Do you want me to keep going?
Yeah,
Oh, God.
11:29.
Okay.
I literally
Saying I'm already late for work, so why don't I just ditch it? I should have told her no, 'cause she don't understand. I can't abandon everything that I got planned. But she said, Monday's just another day, you don't need to sing the blues. All our young days will slip away if you keep on hitting snooze. We can't wait for a perfect day, what have we got to lose? So I said I'm game for anything, but first I need my coffee.
Should I stop?
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
Lumps of sugar, 2 shots of cream, warm in my hands and melting me. One sip takes all my bitterness away. And I say, Monday's just another day, you don't need to sing the blues. All your young days will slip away if you keep on hitting snooze. You can't wait for a perfect day, what have you got to lose? You know
That to me, that down
Yep.
verse where it gets
It's a little bit laggy. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That to me is, you might consider, just as a thought experiment, starting the song there in that energy, that arrangement, that instrumentation. Like because also I think when there's less going on and the drums aren't hitting the snare, they're doing something on the cymbals, or everything's backed down to a 2. You can be like, you can contain the melody better, you can contain the energy better, and you have. So I think using that down verse that we just paused at as a sort of departure point for the energy, and then letting maybe the second verse move from there. There's not really a build from the first verse that's to the ba 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 ba, right? So in other words, the first half is very contained, and the second half is 3 notches larger, and there's no like, here we go, guys. It's like a roller coaster. Oh shit, right? You're not. It just is, and so those little things that you almost feel like you're telegraphing to the listener, like, this part's more important and we're getting bigger. That's maybe just a drummer thing or an arrangement thing, but somehow it could be the keyboard player, someone let us know, like, oh shit, no, but you haven't heard it all yet. There's little things like that just from moment to moment to moment to moment make it very, very sticky. And again, a 1,000 blah 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 blah, and I'm just bringing things to your attention that you've probably just either done in a slightly different way, or chose not to do quite that way, or didn't apply it quite the way I'm thinking. You know what I mean? But I think it's that energy thing that
Well, it's given me a lot of ideas too, because I'm still tightening up. There's like little details I want to add to the arrangement, and everything you're saying is stuff that I want to be mindful of, and being like, okay, how can I get that bigger transition going? Pete,
another way of doing it. I know. Another flip on doing that is you know, you could have a guitar solo in that thing that happens between, I think you've got sort of an da 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 da, you know, at the end of the second hook going into the bridge. You could have like just a Nashville slide guitar, whatever is appropriate. Something that
Totally.
you could, in other words, you can either contain energy in the part before, or you can add a little extra thing over here. There's something going on over here that wasn't there. And you can add, there's actually quite a bit of space in the arrangement to add shit that would essentially have the same, as long as you have something that's a contour, right? So again, I'm not necessarily, I hope you're not misreading my thoughts and my ideas here. I'm not saying like, try doing the song this way. I'm just highlighting that. I think if you looked at the song from that lens and said, hey, I wonder if there's a few ways that I could experiment, and you may not like those, but try it out. And if about it,
yeah, and it's like exaggerating the emotion that I want to bring forward.
A little bit.
Sounds like a plan. I can't wait for the next one.
Tori's like, dude, you're late. You're now 1 minute late.
We're so laggy. I'm sorry.
No, not at all. The last thing you should be is sorry. Thank you guys for hanging with us. Hopefully this wasn't too like, what are they talking about? We try and hit a nice sweet spot where it's like, okay, this is interesting. Like even for people that don't necessarily play music or have had these kinds of conversations. So good. I'm glad Tori loved it. But Victoria, I appreciate your props, and Lady Llama, good to see you. Christine, thank you so much again. Shannon, thank you for the props. Wu-Tang, it's good to see you. I saw you slip in about halfway through. Good to see you as well. Donnie, thank you as always. Yeah. You're awesome. We appreciate everything you're doing on this, in this world, this universe of you now. We'll be back. The next couple weeks are going to be amazing, mad, busy on our stream. We have a lot of additional artists that we have found that we want to make sure are in for this August thing, that we're just going to make it happen. So we're literally going to be streaming. It's just like you this week. We're going to be streaming like 3 times as much as we normally do. So it's going to be crazy. So Sweet. Check it out. Thank you, Tori. Thank you, everyone. Love you guys. And let me know what else we can do to help. Anything you want to drop in Discord, Kim. I love these conversations as well. I'm super stoked to be able to have someone at your level to be able to have conversations, and that's as open and awesome as you are. So like this super all the time.
Yeah, sounds great. Thank you again. And thanks everybody, to all the new fans. Yeah, I'll be on later today playing some songs. So if you want to hang out, I hope to see you.
Yes. And please, do you have, by the way, do you have anything coming up, Kim, you want people to know about? I think so your voice goes into next week as well, or is it a week thing?
Yeah, it goes into next week. It goes into next week. So I have open mics every day if anybody wants to come. And the one tonight is with She's Alaska. They're amazing. So yeah, they just released a new song. They're a duo from Nashville. 8 p.m. Eastern.
8 p.m. Eastern, so 5 p.m. Pacific. It's called Alaska. What is it called?
It's She's Alaska is my co-host. Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's an artist. And
yeah,
she goes,
they're a duo.
Alaska. Duo, awesome. Okay, so 5 o'clock Pacific time, 8 o'clock Eastern. Check out Kim all through next week, especially. When's the open mic?
Tonight. I have them every day, but there's one tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern.
And regular, what time are they? When they're every day, are they at a certain time all the time?
Oh, my regular open mic is no, different every day.
They move around. So check in with Kim, fan her up. Love you guys. Gotta jump. Hope I'm not fired.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.